Bienvenue à la cérémonie de Souvenir pour la ville de Hampstead. Welcome to Hampstead's annual Remembrance Day ceremony. Aujourd'hui, on a célébré le 100e anniversaire de le Coquelicot. Ça, c'est un programme qui commence par Madame de France, Anne Guérin. Il s'est adapté par la Legion. Et ça, c'est notre symbole qu'on utilise chaque année. This year we are celebrating the 100th anniversary of the poppy. It was initiated by a woman in France 100 years ago. Her name was Anne Guérin. The emblem of the poppy was adopted by the Legion and has been used ever since. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, Canada.
Ils ne vieilliront pas comme nous, qui leur ont survécu. Ils ne connaîtront jamais l'outrage ni le poids des années. Quand viendra l'heure du crépuscule et celle de l'aurore, nous nous souviendrons d'eux.
They shall not grow old, as we who are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them. We will remember them. You'll now have the laying of the wreaths. First wreath will be for the town of Hampstead, laid by Director Terry Hood. Okay, quick march. Look. Halt. Sure. Good. Fuck. Right, turn. The next wreath will be for the veterans who gave their all for their country. My name is Mike Fitzgerald, and I will be laying the wreath. The third wreath will be laid for people who lost their lives in the Holocaust. I will lay that wreath as well. By the left. Quick. Come on. Hold. Right turn. This concludes our ceremony for today. Ça c'est la fin de la cérémonie d'aujourd'hui. J'espère l'année prochaine, on est capable de faire ça avec tous des résidents ici et des enfants. Hopefully next year, we'll be able to carry on our normal ceremony with the residents and the school children present. Thank you for attending today. Great dismissed!
Chers amis, dear friends of Hampstead, it's with honor and humility that I join you on this most sacred of days, Remembrance Day, to acknowledge the ultimate sacrifice of so many of our descendants and our loved ones, and to remember, and particularly to remind our children of the significance of that sacrifice. First, to look at what was protected by that ultimate involvement of those men and women who defended our country. I allow myself to draw a parallel to this week, where in absolute freedom and security across Quebec, people like you chose their municipal governments. And perhaps we take that for granted, and too much so. But that kind of freedom to choose without the slightest of fear or worry those who will lead us, an absolute cornerstone of democracy. That principle was at risk and has been at risk throughout the years across history, and certainly before the two great wars fought over the 20th century. So those who fought for us fought for that kind of daily level of comfort and security that we take for granted. Qu'on n'oublie jamais ça. Qu'on n'oublie jamais qu'un pourcentage assez impressionnant des gens issus de la communauté juive se sont portés bénévoles pour défendre ces libertés-là. And finally, I think in honor of those who have sacrificed and continue to sacrifice, we owe it to ourselves to learn about the burden of peace, not of war. The burden on all of us to contribute to dialogue, openness, and every effort to ensure that no one must fight for us in wars. That must be the last and ultimate sacrifice, and it must be avoided at every cost. So this year, like every year, it's so important that we come together to remember, and I thank you all for doing so. Merci.